Hello, brothers and sisters. Welcome to the Metaphysical Church of the Tree of Life. The purpose of this church is to ensure that its members obtain the highest possible levels of spiritual evolution through a two-part process. One, of using energy mastery and expansion of consciousness to tune to one's own inner light, to realize one's own spiritual nature. This process of being alive in the three-dimensional world has taught us that we are physical creatures of bone, blood, and tissue, doomed to die one day as it might seem, but we are actually spiritual beings. We are consciousness that expresses itself as radiant spiritual energy. We have just forgotten. We have within the center of our being what's called our energetic column. Most of you are probably familiar with the chakras, and they're aligned on that column. Well, there's a place, an energetic place within the core of your being where your human consciousness, your ego, your physical, your third dimensional self interacts with, communicates with, establishes energetic connection with the soul, with your spirit, with your higher self, with God, with the Holy Spirit. So basically, everything that is on the outside, everything that is outside of you is ultimately intrinsically connected with you in the fifth dimension. But our consciousness is in one of separation, so we're a little bit detached from that. We're currently only able to get information that is within our own spiritual channel, within our own sense of self. So even though the spirit, the soul, is free flowing and surrounds everything and goes all the way to source, the human consciousness is only receiving information from a connection point. All of our information comes from soul. All of our information comes from spirit and gets translated into the physical. So by having proper alignment, this is the foundation. This is what makes all of the other higher learning take place. Without alignment, it's just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. It's just a bunch of intellectual information that really goes nowhere. And I'm sure we've all had plenty of experiences with that, reading certain books or spiritual materials, being exposed to very high level intellectual information, and yet the level of consciousness that they describe seems to evade us. Well, that's all because of alignment. What is God? What is a much better question to ask than who? What is God? So right at the very core, deep in your heart, so deep that you wouldn't be able to find it if you cut yourself open with a knife, is the core of God, the heart of God, the heart of Christ. Once again, it's centralized in the core of your being, and it goes all the way out to a magical point where the density stops. It gets progressively lighter, 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 and then void, then the infinite. And that is the aspect of God that I call the parental, or the creator consciousness. This is the part of God that surrounds the universal construct and is looking back in with a parental type of consciousness, like a gardener carefully tending its garden and lovingly caring for all of the participants, all of the children. My adventures in energy mastery, not only have I expanded out to the end of all of it, but I've also gone all the way inside, and I was shocked because I found deep within the same exact thing that I found out there, the infinite, the formless, the source of all. No vibration, no light, no sound, no thought, none of these things. It is the source of all of these things. Well, deep within the heart of Christ, in the center of your being, is a piece or a chunk of that infinite, that formless, that nameless, that allness, the great I am. So this is the twofold nature of God. It's like a giant eyeball. The omniversal construct is like a giant eyeball with two lenses, one focused on the inside looking out, and this is God within. this is the Christ, and then one that is focused on the outside, looking within, and this is God the parental, which communicates with us through two aspects, the mother and the father. To inherit the kingdom of heaven, you must be born again of spirit. That's a passage from the Bible, and one that's not very often understood. To be born again of spirit does not mean to be dunked under the water and some magic words said over you, and then you rise up and towel yourself off, and all of a sudden you are born again of spirit. But you're not, because you're still a physical being. Nothing's changed. You've had a beautiful ritual, and one that might have a powerful emotional impact on your life. But are you born again of spirit? No, you're not. Spirit is energy. Energy is free flowing. Spirit is interconnected with everything. Physical is separate. If I touch this tree, I feel friction. I feel the tree rubbing up against my skin. If I touch this tree with my spirit, however, my spirit flows into the tree, into its molecular structure. I literally feel the tree as being a part of myself. And you can even reverse that polarity and pull the spirit of the tree into you, and the tree feels what it's like to be you. So spirit is free flowing. Spirit is not in separation. There's only one way to be born again of spirit, and that is through your own efforts, your own attainment in consciousness expansion and energy mastery. You must do focus and meditation exercises to tune your human ego, physical self, which is locked inside of the nervous system of the human body, forced to interpret reality exclusively through the preset range of the five senses. You must tune this consciousness to receive vibrational input from outside of the physical spectrum. And in this way, you begin to know your true and authentic self, which is spirit. Like I said before, I eat, sleep, and drink this stuff. It's all I do. Energy mastery, evolution of the soul, meditation, focus, presence mastery every day. In these arts, we work on certain dynamic properties within our spirit, within our energetic body that give us a measure of how much we've grown. Dynamic properties such as electrical properties, the electrical quality of our energy, how intense is our vibration, how bright is our light, how attractive is our love. In the last 4 years that I've spent in utter and pure devotion to loving God in the moment, to the service of my Creator, I have grown 10 times more in love, in magnetism, in light, in vibration, in electrical quality, in soul mass. Every dynamic property of energy mastery has been accelerated. My growth has been accelerated about 10 times. It's vast. There's no comparison. The amount of progress that you can make on your own pales in comparison to the amount of progress that you can make when you devote your energy mastery, when you devote your expansion of consciousness to loving service of your Creator. When you devote yourself to serving God, God devotes itself to serving you.